I'm Dixie. I am a life coach and very passionate about helping people to find peace within themselves. People that are struggling mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. That desire comes from my own struggles, and I feel like I've found that peace, that joy that I was searching for most of my life. So my passion now is to share that with other people. Today I want to talk to you about some truths that set me free. I believe that the truth is what sets us free, and sometimes the things that we believe or think or even have been taught can put us in bondage. And so I want to share with you some of the things as I learned them. I just felt like it freed me completely. So for me, a lot of the things that were bondage were feelings that I had. So I'm going to kind of talk about this is how I felt, but this is actually what was true. So the first one was I really felt like life was completely out of my control. It was like I was in a speeding car going down the road, but I didn't have a steering wheel. I was riding a horse that's running, but I didn't have a bridle. I couldn't steer. I was on a boat and I didn't feel like I had sails. If you heard my story about the rowboat, I just felt like I was helpless. Whatever came is what I got, and I just felt completely helpless, and it was an awful feeling. Sometimes life would bring great things, and I would be happy, and other times things would come, and with that, there was just always this fear because I didn't know. I couldn't figure out the formula. I'll talk about that one in a little bit in a second, but I couldn't figure out the formula to get everything good to happen. So anyway, it just felt like completely out of control. And then the real truth is that I just didn't know, first of all, that I could steer my life, that I did have control, and I didn't know how. And to me, that's really what being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually unhealthy means. It's not that that you don't care, that you don't want to, that you're lazy, any of those things that we think. I really believe it's that we don't realize that we do have the control. We don't have that truth that sets us free. And then even if we do know, I used to hear people say, you control how you feel, it's up to you. But I didn't know how. I had never been taught how, and I didn't even know that I could, so I wasn't seeking how. So that's really important. I think when people recognize that it's not that you don't want to take control of your life, or that you don't want to deal with your emotions and your feelings, and of course no one wants to be miserable and unhappy and depressed. We just don't know that we have that choice, that really we do have a steering wheel, we really do have sails, and we need to know how to use them. So that's what my passion is. Another thing, and I think because of that helpless feeling, I was always afraid. I lived in a state of trying to control and trying to prevent things from happening. It was almost like, what if this happens? So some examples from my life was, I was married, and what if he leaves? And so because I was afraid that he was going to leave, I tried to control everything. I read every marriage book that was out there. I wanted to find out how to be the best wife, and I was looking for a formula. If I do this, then this is what's going to happen. But what I kept finding over and over again is that's not true. I could be the best wife in the world, and my husband could still leave, and that's what happens. So, I was doing that with my kids. I was trying to figure out, how do you be a good parent? What are you supposed to do? And because I didn't know, I was really looking, and so again, I was looking for a formula. If you do all these different things, then your kids are going to turn out this way. And thank God, my kids are absolutely incredible, amazing people. But I did that with church. I started going to church. I became very religious. It was like, if I do this, then this is what God is going to do. And I was looking for those formulas. A lot of times in church, what you'll hear is, you need to read more, pray more, do more, study more, give more. And so, for a long time, I felt like a hamster on a wheel. I just kept trying more and more and more. I attend Bible study 2 or 3 times a week. I would pray all the time. I would do all these things, with the intention of, okay, I'm trying to control this so that I can get this outcome. And then when life, would still fall apart, when things would still happen, I was just so frustrated. So the truth is that the external things that happen in our life really kind of come as a result of what we believe inside. So when you believe about yourself that you're garbage, that you're unlovable, that, you don't deserve good things in life. And it's almost like, I probably wouldn't have said that out loud to anyone. I wouldn't have said, hey, this is what I think of myself. But that voice inside of me, that internal struggle that was going on, definitely had that belief that, that I didn't deserve to be happy, that I didn't deserve to have somebody that loved me, that I, all those different kinds of things. And what the truth is that what we have inside, what we believe inside about ourselves, what we think about, those are kind of the things that happen. So if you think about it, like people that have a very low self-esteem, who don't think very highly of themselves, who kind of picture themselves as, like I did, kind of trash, like, discarded and not wanted and things like that. You surround yourself, you choose things, subconsciously, not necessarily even intentionally, that kind of validate that very point. You find people who will leave. You find people who will treat you awful. You put yourself in circumstances that somebody with a healthy view of themselves wouldn't ever put themselves in those circumstances. And so it was almost like in the reverse. I was trying to control the outside stuff, not ever thinking about the inside stuff. But the truth is, the inside stuff affects the outside stuff. So hopefully that makes sense to you. The last one I want to talk to you about is kind of that same idea, but for me, I felt like there was just this hunger, this thirst inside of me. And I shared with you my story about this keeper that just seeks goes everywhere looking for this treasure. I was looking for happiness. I was looking for love. I was looking for validation. I was looking for peace and joy. And I looked for it everywhere else. I thought if I found the right guy, if I, did the right things, if I had the right job or had enough money, or, if I kept my house clean enough, and I did all these things that I was looking for outside of myself, that they were going to give me those things that I really, really wanted, really, really needed. I felt like, almost like I was starving for them. And every time, I almost feel like it's a gift, because every time I would get those things, I would realize it didn't fill up that empty space. It's still empty in there. You could have somebody that loves you, but you still don't feel love. You still don't, because I was looking for it out there. The truth is, all of those things come from within us. We have love inside of us. We are designed that way. It's part of our design. It's there. We have the ability, and we have love inside of us. What we choose to do with that, like I've shared, makes a lot of difference in our lives, of how life goes and how we feel about ourselves. So for me, I just started recognizing, like I said, it was the truth. And I've learned that truth in different ways. I've read books, I've listened to seminars. I really like Tony Robbins. I wouldn't say, I'm a Tony Robbins follower and I'll do everything that he says, but there's some wisdom in the things that he talks about. There's a lot of people who have gone on this journey before me that I can look at what did they learn, and what kind of things did they glean from their experiences. And there's hundreds of people like that. I know Byron Katie is one that I really like. Brene Brown is one that's out there talking about these things. All these different people who have these different wisdoms. And as I learn these things and apply them to my life and start to say, oh my gosh, this truth really puts me in a different mindset, a different feeling inside. I can choose today, no matter what's happening outside in my life, no matter what my job is, no matter what my love life is, no matter what my bank account says, I can choose today to feel love, to feel peace, to feel joy. That's something I control. And those are the things that we're really looking for when we're trying to, work so hard to get our marriages to work, or our relationships to work, or our, whatever it is, even our finances. We're really looking for that sense of peace. We're looking for that sense of joy and happiness. If you surveyed people all over the world, what you would hear that we want more than anything is to be happy. And so what I have found is that is inside of me. That is something I have control over. I can't look for it in all these other places because I won't find it there. Even if I find somebody that loves me, that empty place will still be there unless I go inside and glean from the resources that are within me, from that design that I have. So there are millions of truths like this. These are just a few of them that I felt like, these have been pretty profound in my life as those truths became real to me and I understood how true they were. it's like it set me free. I don't have to manipulate the world. I don't have to try to figure out how to create this formula so I get what I want. I can go inside and be happy right now, right where I am. All those different kinds of things. So hopefully that gives you something to think about and open you up a little bit to all those truths that are out there that really can help us to be free. Have a great day.